Reddit stories. Glitch in the Matrix. Time jump. Hello everyone. Something really weird happened right now. I am from India and the current time is 11:14 a.m. At 11:10 a.m. I was downloading a book on my phone and this takes less than 10 seconds. I was also keeping an eye on time because I wanted to see 11:11. At 11:10 itself, the book got downloaded, and I just saw the coverage of book and closed the app. Saw the time, it was 11:12. 11:11 never flashed on my phone. I am very much sure that I took my eyes off the time for less than 15 seconds, and the time jumped a 1 complete minute. The time was 11:12, only 15 seconds after 11:10. Whatever it was, it freaked me out a bit initially, as I couldn't believe my eyes. But now it's like a wink from the consciousness about everything being a matrix. I know some may find my post to be silly or not solid enough to be chalked up as a glitch in the matrix, but remember, no matter how small a glitch, even if 1 whole minute missing, it astonishes the person who notices it. Have a great day ahead. By NG Student 111. A Familiar Glitch by Theories Girl. As we happily drove home in my dad's new truck, my mom only had one complaint. Her new iPhone 7 wouldn't fit in the groove on the center console. My dad's 6 would, and he bragged about it for a second. He even brought it up a few days later to his parents. It was close to being a family joke, though not a very funny one. Then my mom put her phone in the groove, and it fit. It was a muscle memory motion for her, since she always put her phone in her car's groove. Same phone case, same phone, same truck, same groove. But now it fit. We all stared at it like, what? None of us had an explanation. My dad and I are pretty heavy into conspiracies, but my mom hates all that stuff. Even now she admits it was strange, that it was unexplainable. My mom is convinced it was a one-time thing. I just keep waiting for her phone to stop fitting. Went to bed sick, woke up feeling fine. But my daughter's favorite toy changed colors. I think I died. By Soctakas. Hey guys, weird happening here. About 2 weeks ago, I was feeling off, like I was going to have a heart attack or going to pass out or throw up. I don't have insurance at the moment, so I decided I would sleep it off. My daughter's favorite toy was on the couch when I came out to the living room. It is a blue dinosaur plushie she takes everywhere with her. Well, I scooted it over on the couch and started watching TV, hoping I would pass out, and I grabbed her toy and had it in my hands to distract me. I eventually fell asleep and woke up the next day. My girlfriend and kid were gone, and I got up to get some water. I looked down the floor and thought, she forgot her toy. She's going to have a fit. Then it hit me. Instead of a dark blue toy I see all the time, it was bright green. I know I'm not crazy. She's had it for a year now, and when I had asked what we should name it, even she said we should name it Blue. She throws a fit about the toy constantly and says, I want my blue dinosaur. I want my blue dinosaur. So I know for a fact the thing was blue. I thought maybe she had a second dinosaur similar, and I'm not crazy. Then my girlfriend called me asking if her toy was still at home. I asked, the blue dinosaur? She replied, no, the green one she has all the time. I said, well, what about the blue one? To which she responded, there is no blue one. What are you talking about? My head started to spin. I started reading online about theories on our consciousness traveling to another dimension when we die, because I admit I was having a bit of death anxiety after that night. I usually have panic attacks or anxiety, but this was way different. Anyways, I started looking into theories about souls and consciousness and came across that one and how it lays within the parameters of infinite universes and small things in people's lives changing after an accident, near-death experience, etc. I'm not convinced I died, but something weird definitely happened that night, and now I have this bright green dino making me question everything I know. Edit. For clarification, I have not had COVID recently. I don't have any gas in my home. My water heater is gas, but it's outside in a closed area, and I have a CO2 detector in my apartment. So I think I'm solid regarding that. I don't take any medications or anything of the sort. My wife spoke Norwegian. She only knows English. By Ben Kenobi. At 9 p.m., wife sauntered off to sleep while I stayed downstairs to watch a movie. A couple hours later, I joined her in bed. While preparing for bed, I accidentally woke her. She looked at me and mumbled something that I couldn't understand. I said, "What?" She said it again, only with more clarity. I still couldn't understand it. I said, "What?" again, and again she repeated it. This happened a few more times, with her finally raising her voice and getting irritated that she had to repeat herself so many times. She was saying something to the effect of, Babian Varme. I'm pretty good with languages, and I thought it sounded Scandinavian. So I plucked her sounds into Google and came out as, "Are the babies warm?" in Norwegian. We have 3 kids, and at this time they were 8, 5, and 2. It's not unusual for her to ask me about the kids as I'm going to sleep, but this was the first time it was in a foreign language. She speaks no other languages besides English. What kind of glitch would this be? Edit. Some folks have commented that the words I wrote above are too similar to the English. Another commented that this isn't even a Norwegian phrase. I wrote above that she said something to the effect of, "This means that I cannot recall the sounds she was making, but when I translated them, it was something like, 'Are the babies warm?' It may have been expressed differently than how I wrote it above. I used that phrase for the purpose of telling the story. Remember, I made her repeat it several times, to the point she was nearly yelling it at me in irritation and annoyance. It was not garbled, drowsy English. This happened. The Town That Shouldn't Exist by Wim Busen. This was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It still creeps me out just thinking about it. I was in the car with my mom heading home from a museum we had been to multiple times before, so obviously the road we took should have been familiar. But maybe 20 minutes into the drive, we both realized we're completely lost on some back road neither of us had ever seen before. We pull up Google Maps to get back on the road, and it starts navigating us. Maybe another 10 minutes later, and the road has become a narrow dirt path in the woods. But Google is still telling us to go this way, so whatever. All of a sudden, this narrow dirt path opens up into a brand new paved road. The woods open up into a massive field, and we're right in the middle of a shiny new suburban area. There was a sign on the side of the road, but it was completely blank. The GPS told us to drive through the suburb, so we did, and it was empty. No cars, no people. It was daytime, but there wasn't a single light on in any window, which felt odd. Everything looked brand new, but there was no construction or road equipment anywhere, and there were no stores or gas stations or anything except for what looked like a McDonald's with no branding. We kept going for 10 minutes or so, and the road turned back into dirt, and it went right back into the woods, and maybe 5 minutes later we were back in our normal town. Now this could have easily been some weird testing area, but there were no trespassing signs. It wasn't fenced off, had no one guarding it, had no evidence of anyone staying there, etc. It was just empty. The whole time I felt like I shouldn't be there. It was just wrong. Looking at that area on Google Maps still only shows the woods, and that field would have definitely been visible by a satellite. Maybe this doesn't fit in this sub, but nothing has ever felt more out of place to me than this. I just saw someone disappear by that one dude 1604. I was at a Wendy's headed to the restroom. An older guy was also heading in right in front of me. I got in the restroom right after he did, except he wasn't there when I got in. The stall door was wide open, and he wasn't at the urinal, and I never saw him exit. The World Wasn't Loading Up for a Second by Hihei012. Okay, I haven't told anyone this because I know they'll think I'm crazy or lying, but I'm 100% sure of what I saw, so I came here. This morning I was getting dressed and I turned around to look at my fish tank in the corner of my room, and it wasn't there. Not like the object wasn't there, nothing was there. For about a second, it was just a pure white void. Then in another second, everything came back. It didn't just reappear instantly, though, either. It came back almost like chunk by chunk. Very quickly, though. Now, I've never believed in any sort of we live in a simulation thing, but I'm starting to research it now because of this experience. Never thought I'd be posting here by academic_vast_6294. I witnessed my first Matrix glitch yesterday and I am still in shock. I was taking a stroll with my pup and find a bird sitting on the edge of a branch. The tree is right in front of me and there is only blue sky behind it. This will make sense later. The bird flies from the tree in front of me and midway, just halfway as it flies in the air, disappears before my eyes. I freeze in shock and, like normal people, begin to question my own sanity. I think maybe I didn't see it correctly. Perhaps it blended into an object and it simply hid from my view. But I know what I saw. The bird disappeared into thin air. It was so freaky but also really cool. Let me know if anyone else has experienced disappearing objects or birds. LOL.